Hello everybody, this is Journey the Artsy-Rose and welcome to Happy Ever After with Philip. Laura0993, you had requested the second part for Philip's story. You had requested this event story. I dedicate this to you, seeing as you requested it. So, shall we begin? Event story, Happy Ever After, part 1. This week we have been mending library books. Philip and I were on our way home from the library, stacks of books clutched in our arms. Sorry to drag you into helping too. No, it's fine. I want to be of help to Niflheim's librarian. Philip pressed a kiss to my cheek. Now, give me those. Philip promptly put the books he had carrying down on the table and took mine from me. Hey, I'm helping, remember? I know. I thought he'd say that, so I brought another book and additions to be mended. Oops. Another book? What book? I asked excitedly, and then Philip's honey-colored eyes drew closer. Silly me. I wasn't going to tell you yet. He frowned. I brought my own lips to his cheek. Hey Philip, you already said it, so you might as well tell me everything. If you don't... You're right. Okay, take a seat over there. I did as he said and sat down at the table. He placed a book with a pale green cover before me. So this is the book? The title says, The Future. Yes, this is a book that can show you the future. The book of the land of the living. The future of the land of the living. I wonder if you know about it. The future of the land of the living. Philip's explanation intrigued me, and I hung onto every word. So time passes differently in Niflheim and the land of the living? That's right. I don't know the details, but JJ told me something like that before. In Niflheim, time has stopped. Now that I think about it, when I first met Philip in Niflheim, he was exactly the same as I remembered him in the past. I lifted my head to see Philip smiling softly at me. What are you thinking? His hand reached out and cupped my cheek. I was remembering when I first met you in Niflheim. You mean how I wasn't an old man? Oh, silly Philip. But yeah, you were the same young prince. Right. He was the same wonderful prince. So much that even though I'd lost my memories, I fell in love with him all over again. I think it's good that nothing ages here in Niflheim. If I had been old when we met again, we wouldn't be like we are now. Oh, I think I would have fallen for you even if you had turned into a skeleton. Thanks, I feel the same way. Now, well, I'm happy to hear your feelings. Aren't you interested in this book? I am. Philip smiled, then lowered his gaze to the cover of the book. It is 1,000 years since I arrived here. And during the 1,000 years you slept, civilization in the land of living has been advancing. As he spoke, Philip started to turn the pages of the book of the future. I wonder if this will tell me more about the timeline. I wonder if this will tell me more about what's happened in the land of the living since, well, we already have an idea, but it doesn't seem... I have an idea. Maybe every 500 years that pass through Niflheim is actually 1 century for us, 1 century for the land of the living, or the world of the living for that matter. Wouldn't that kind of make sense? Because if things are not If things are advancing in Niflheim, if technology is advanced in the land of the living, then technology shouldn't be too advanced if we have a telephone, a rocket that can go to the moon, which Jean failed to use, as we remember. Let's see. What else am I forgetting? Oh, an airplane, right. How could I forget? How could I forget that? Teriyaki chicken the second. Oh, by the way, in case you're wondering who the first one is, it's Jean himself, according to Orlando. And the, as a player of the Niflheim game, you get quotes from the other characters that exchange dialogue with one another. And while King Leo was asking who Teriyaki Chicken the first was, Orlando replied or answered that King Jean is Teriyaki Chicken the first. Pretty crazy, huh? So, shall we proceed with part 2? Happy Ever After, part 2. Philip turned to the first page of the book of the future, and a small black vortex appeared. Philip, what is this? He put an arm around my shoulders and held his hand out towards the spiraling vortex. It's okay, just stick with me. Okay. There's nothing to be afraid of. I leaned in close to him and watched. Suddenly my vision went black. And I found myself standing in an unfamiliar place with Victor. An unfamiliar place together with Philip. Whoops. Under our feet was a polished stone floor with a carved stone staircase sloped away into the distance. Where on earth are we? This is a library in the land of the living. It also contains a historical archive. The land of the living? The light is dim. Because it's just before daybreak? Have you been here before? I come here from time to time. No one else knows about it. The librarian stood impressively in the darkness, much larger than the library. The library stood impressively in the darkness, much larger than the library in Niflheim. The ceiling is so high. So, what do you come here for? Come with me and I'll show you. He took me by the hand, then set off to run an excited child. He pulled me along to a lined with colorful books. Let's go with this book. Shall we read it together in the garden there? That sounds nice, but won't we be seen by someone? It's kind of strange that we haven't seen at all yet. It's okay, I've never come across anyone else here. Really? I don't know what the slight sense of uneasiness inside of me was, but I decided to go out into the garden with Philip. A blue sky spread over a carpet of roses. The sun is up. The sunlight feels good after so long. The uneasiness I had been feeling dissipated in the fresh air. I never saw a scene like this even when I was alive. Orlando's rose garden in Niflheim is lovely, but this book. He flipped through the pages of the book in his hand, called The Future, just to read another book. I was surprised to find that it tells of this place. Right now, this is where we are. Huh? You're saying that this is the field we used to run through? Oh my goodness! That's right. Oh my lord, oh my lord. Although 1900 years have passed since we died. Look, it's written all over here. So they must be in the far distant future, holy cow, or just... Oh, so it is. Over 1900 years have gone by. Philip pointed to where it was written that this place used to be the territory of the castle I had lived in. At the same time, we both looked at the blue sky. I was always chasing after you. Don't you think this wind smells just the same? His honey-colored eyes searched deep into my soul. Taking a breath, I smiled back at him, and then his lips brushed my forehead. I'd be happy anywhere, so long as I was with Philip. After that, we returned to our world, so waking up from a dream. I feel kind of fuzzy. Was that all a dream? I thought so too at first, but it doesn't appear to be so. There were new books everywhere. There are new books every time I go. All of them have extremely interesting contents, but not a single one of them is Niflheim. Isn't that strange? It certainly is. And speaking of strange things, I wonder what the uneasiness I felt while the book was all about. Uneasiness? Perhaps it was the passage of time. The passage of time? Yes, it was still just before dawn when we arrived. But then day broke and the sky turned blue. So it did. I think that since time here in Niflheim has stopped, it felt strange for you. And the reason I could appreciate the bright sunlight, the blue sky, and the blue is because of what I have now. Philip stroked my hair, feeling the same air as when I met you back then gets my creative juices flowing. That's why I delve into those books from time to time. I'm glad I decided to bring you with me this time. Wrapped in a soft embrace, I thought about the future. It may not be beneath the sun, but it was filled with love. 1900 years in the future, our own special place became the peaceful birthplace of many books. If that's not beautiful, I don't know what is. Wow. Well, I'm really glad I got the second part. We learned a little more about Niflheim's timeline. Even though time has stopped there, years apparently still pass according to the Book of Time. How many pages does it contain, that thing? So now that makes me wonder a little more. Did Philip and well, at least I finally know how much time has passed in Niflheim, while Philip has been in Niflheim for 1,000 years. It's been 1,900 years since they both died. That really boggles my mind. Doesn't it boggle yours? Well, this is something for me to think over. I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye. But I still want to know, when did these two die? Philip's outfit isn't really giving us any honest clues. If it is, then they're in a pretty distant future. Like, let's see. Maybe at least 3,700 something? Okay, now I'm going. Bye. This is Jandy the Artsy-Rose, and I'm out. Bye!